Okay, hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Plot Pals podcast. However, this is not just a normal episode. This is the 10th episode.
Wow, congratulations. We should buy champagne.
What a milestone.
It's huge. It's a big deal. 10 weeks. That's a lifetime. That's a
Yeah.
baby being from a bean size
Uh-huh.
to like a showing, I think.
Really? If
Actually,
it's a
I might be
girl.
wrong. Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
mostly like boys don't show that much. I don't know. on mothers.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Of
It's
course.
a long time. You could do so much. in
Yes, I
Mhm.
was just seeing our schedules and all that.
time.
And I think we started on June, right? June 2nd, something like this.
Mm.
It was on.
Oh, that doesn't feel like that long ago,
yeah.
actually.
Now it's August.
That's true.
But it does feel like a long time because
Mhm.
we've grown so much.
We
from
have
that.
grown, but at the same time, every time we walk into the studio, I feel like it's the same time still. I just remember the
Yeah.
first week we were here.
Exactly. We just borrowed the podcast kit and came here and just recorded it, Not thinking.
We just
about
walked in. We
anything.
just wanted to see the room, and we're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, do you want to check it out?"
Yeah.
That was
Do we
so
have
cool.
the podcast kit here? They
Mhm.
had it. We just, borrowed it and just started
I don't know,
recording.
and it was really a fascinating talk because normally I just don't talk. I feel like I just like
Mhm.
sit quietly, and Anna is the one who talks.
Yeah.
Even on our
I'm the-
trip, it was like that. Oh, we'll talk about it. But then, as soon as the microphones were in front of us, suddenly we were like two
Oh.
geniuses, like sharing ideas about life and.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so
Mhm.
exciting to do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So we had a very good, exciting week this week, and
Yeah, the last time we saw each other was maybe 8 hours ago or something.
yeah.
And we
We even
spent the
see
whole
each o-
weekend.
I think we see each other more than our families. Like I'm certain.
What?
Exactly.
Mm.
Like at least it's true for this week,
For this week, for sure. Yeah, because we're gone
for 2 days.
now, and now I'm leaving again.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, we do go home to our families, but I don't know. Maybe it's getting a little. The plot pals is getting
A little too serious.
No, it's good. So we were on a trip in the nicest place. It was like a little heaven.
Yes.
So cool. I was gonna go alone. What a mistake that would have been.
no.
But thank you for
why?
coming with me.
She wanted to go there to write. Like
Oh, yeah.
8 hours of it. I know you wouldn't have done that,
Yeah,
but
probably not.
still, like that was like you want to isolate yourself in this heaven like that.
That's
and then
true.
Start writing, come up with the scripts, and
I
get
know.
inspiration, and then I come along and let's go to the beach.
We just
Let's
had
do that.
fun. The thing is, before we left, we had goals. I was like, I'm gonna write 4 screenplays, which makes no sense. You can't write 4 screenplays in a day. But I was like, set a big goal, and maybe you'll get somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you also had a goal. You're like, I'm gonna write my whole novel. But
in one day.
yeah, exactly. But then we went there. The whole 2 days we were there, we wrote for 1 hour,
No, 1 hour.
1 hour and 10 minutes or something. Remember?
1 hour and 30 minutes, something
Oh,
like that.
wow, that's
Wow,
great.
That's so good. And then
Mm.
immediately after, we just went rowing the boat.
The thing is, that was not a waste of time, right? You
No.
said we learned so much.
We did.
the water.
Okay, so we were on the boat,
Mhm.
and then we started what? Getting into characters, coming up with a
yeah.
whole new story.
Mhm.
Okay,
So it started
was
with the idea.
insane. Yes.
Mhm. First, it was just okay. How about there's 2 women who are running away
Yeah.
in this time frame, and are running through the sea, and that's all we had. And then we just started talking.
And there were some islands there, so it
Oh,
was
yeah.
source of inspiration. We felt like we were just like 2 women, isolated on the ocean in the middle of nowhere,
yes,
and we were running away from I don't know.
dangers everywhere.
Yes,
There could be underwater, could be on land.
Yeah, from our country,
From our
something like
country.
that. It's like we were crossing the border or something like that.
Yeah.
Just imagining these things and talking about it and coming up with a new idea for a story. Very cool.
Very cool. And then we started just arguing as if we were the characters.
Yes.
And it was so fun because first it's just jokey and you
Yeah.
say something, makes the other person laugh. You laugh as you say it. But there would be moments, like a
Yeah.
second where I could see Anna was so angry and that was the character. And I felt the pain. And then I would try to do the same thing. I'll be like, I hate you. I never want to see you again. And stuff like that. was so
Sometimes you
cool.
would even believe it
Yeah.
a little bit. It was so cool because we even got the characters kind of, I think, right. I don't know how we did that. It's like one character was kind of like proud. She would do anything. My character would do anything to get out of her country and build a new life and immigrate and things like that.
At the expense of hurting herself and
her
possibly
sister
others.
and her family, yeah. And the other one was
Afraid. Was
weakness.
afraid of
She had lots of
pain and discomfort. So she was ready to give everything up for her own comfort, including her sister. If it meant, for example, her thing was, oh, if I find a man, I will go to that man instead of staying with you because he can provide more for us.
That's true. She was like a more like a weak character that in times of like difficulty she would like want to. She doesn't want that kind of thing. She wants comfort.
Exactly.
And the other one, mostly like we talked about it. They're like Joe in Little Women and Amy.
That's true.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't know, it would just came to us naturally, so naturally. It's because it's kind of part of our characters as well, I feel like. At least it is kind of part of mine.
Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, because we were talking about the podcast like 3 hours later in the car, and Anna was giving like these suggestions that are a little out there still and are like, you know, we have to work towards. And she was like, yeah, we should go do this and that, and it's so cool. And then I was on the other car like, that's scary. You're crazy. What are you talking about? No, not yet. And that was exactly our characters too. Interesting.
But no, I mean, we're not like that exactly. But it is a part of us.
A little bit.
Of course, yeah.
There's you remember I was reading a book on improvisation?
Yeah.
There was a quote at the very beginning that said, if you say yes, and I could be misquoting this, but it said, if you say yes, your reward is the adventures that will come your way.
Wow.
If you say no, your reward is the comfort.
So true.
Yeah.
The last time we recorded this episode, you asked me, like, after we were done, you asked me, do you want to come on this trip, like, with me there? And I could have just easily said, no, I can't. Because I had music class, I had other things to do. I had to be there for my family. And then there, I just said, yes.
Yeah, it was so spontaneous. We talked about it, like, a few hours before.
Exactly. And then we said, tomorrow, let's come there and go. In the morning, early in the morning. So... yeah.
What an adventure it was.
It was such an adventure. I will always remember that. Oh, so cool.
Too. We were at a beach, right? And the beach is crystal clear.
Yeah.
But you can see a little further ahead, there's greenery, huge, like...
seaweeds.
Yeah, not even greenery sounds nice. It was seaweeds that are growing like this. And guess what? When you step in it, it gets tangled to you.
Yeah.
And then you might get stuck. Not to mention, what if there's something in there, like a crab or a fish?
Yeah.
So it was like so beautiful, but terrifying, like right beside each other.
Exactly.
If you swam a tiny bit more.
And we would hit the highest notes just by stepping
on
them.
I hate that I did that.
Top of our lungs.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Every time. Because if you do that so many times, then no one will come to help you.
Yeah.
You just do it all the time.
Exactly, yes.
I don't know why we did that. I did that. You didn't really. But every time I get scared, I just scream like a kid. And then I hate when kids do that. But if I do it, it's fine.
Okay, we also went rowing the boat at night, like after the sunset. That was crazy. And we had this like really tiny boat that you had to actually row, you know.
It was a floaty.
A floaty one, yes. Like
and we got in a lot of trouble for doing that at night, actually.
Yes, that was so crazy, but also it's just one of the best. I think it's stuck in my head, like the pictures, everything, the video of in my head actually, of the scene that we saw, the stars.
Oh, you know, there was one star,
the stars,
the star.
But no, the lights everywhere, the feeling, kind of like
calm waters.
Yeah.
You see the houses back there, and it's just you. It's just two people.
Yeah.
Quiet everywhere.
So cool.
But here's the thing: you should never lie. And I lie all the time, but you shouldn't. Because remember, my dad called, and we were in the dark at night, and he had told us explicitly, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so we were there, and then I picked up the phone, I told him, yeah, we're on our way back. And then you were like, we shouldn't have said that. And I agree with you. Like, one part of me was just didn't want to say. But guess what happened like 5 minutes later? The neighbor messaged my dad.
Yes.
So imagine if we had said we are not on the water, and then the neighbor said that. We would just look like losers.
I was just like... I wanted you to say that we're really close, because I didn't want them to get worried or something.
Exactly.
Not because of anything else. Because they would get worried and they would just scold us.
And they did get really worried, actually.
Yeah. But the neighbor, oh my God.
The neighbor, I don't know, like, he's very, very nice on the one side.
Obviously, right? Yeah.
And I guess, like, if something were to happen, it would just be a 1 second thing and it would be, like, catastrophic. So I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. It's annoying.
Why? No. It's really scary out there at night. Yeah. Especially we didn't have that much light or anything. We did have the flashlights, but still
and
scary.
We have life jackets.
So many jet skis there, they could just run over us.
And the thing,
but the danger is just so exciting. That
it is exciting.
It makes you, like, if it's forbidden, just makes you want to do it even more. Yeah.
But seriously, like, we were safe. Parents, don't worry. Like, my mom was like, no, you can't go to New York because you're an unsafe kid. No. Don't you think we care about our well-being? Yeah. You know, we make good decisions. Sometimes we make the decision that's reckless, like, a little bit out there. Yeah, but no, it's all good.
Exactly. And it was just such a good experience, because when we were there on the boat, especially the first time, we just came up with this whole scenario out of nowhere, and I think that was so spontaneous and so good.
And you know where I think it came from? Honestly, it came from us trying to improvise at the deck first.
Yes.
Somehow this improvisation thing opens up so much ideas for life.
So, okay, so Maral was reading this book about improvisation.
Wait, I just realized that was the next day. Wasn't it?
No, that was the first day.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were on the deck and you were reading that book. And I asked you, what are you reading? And you talked about that book, and you said, you told me about some of the exercises. And we did them.
Yeah.
And they were silly, they were stupid at times for us, like, when we were doing it.
Yeah.
But it was really cool.
It's just, it takes your brain in places you didn't even know they could go.
It makes you so creative, kind of like free.
I have some new games, actually, that I could show you.
Oh my God.
The game that we did at the beach was really easy. You could do it, is where you say your own name and then you add an action before it. So, for example, instead of just morale, you say magic morale.
It has to have the same letters.
It has to have the same letters, exactly.
M.
Alliteration.
Yes.
So that's a very easy one. Now, this one that we could try today is, it's called questions only. So it means I ask you a question, you have to answer it with another question. And I ask you another question. And somehow they have to relate to each other.
They have to relate.
Yeah, I feel like this one will be hard, but we can try it. Okay. So, for example, I'll ask you, what time is it?
What? Okay, what time is it?
Can I give you an example?
Yes, please.
You could say, what time do you think it is?
Oh, I see. What time do you think it is?
Why don't you answer the question I asked you?
Why should I answer your question?
Why are you so mean to me?
Why shouldn't I?
That's great.
No, I'm just repeating your question. That's so bad. Okay, why are you mean to me? What do you think I should do?
Why don't you give me a plan of what you want me to do? It's so hard. Okay, let's do another question. You ask a question.
Okay. Well, when are you going to New York?
When are you gonna stop asking about my personal details?
How are you going to stop me?
How about if I kill you? Where's my brain going?
Exactly.
And my
so dark.
My sinister nature is coming out.
What was the question? I forgot.
I said, how about if I kill you?
Oh.
That's so bad.
Why would you do that?
Why? Oh my God, my brain keeps going in the dark.
Okay, let it go.
Why don't you let me go? That's like a cycle. It has to be more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a very good question. But do you see how it opens like your
it just
you realize
shows
who you are.
Okay. Now it just shows that I'm so restricted, you know? I feel like that's why I can't come up with things so instantly. And I do have a problem with improvising. It's so hard for me to do that.
It's a hard job. And you see, for me, it was always just deflecting. If you asked a question, I would say, why don't you leave me alone? Why don't you go away? That's also not really improvising, you know? It's like another way of shutting
blocking,
down.
And
exactly.
shutting down. Yes, you're right.
That's
it kind of shows I think it shows the unconscious mind, your unconscious mind. Because you said it goes to the dark side. That's true. Exactly how it is.
Exactly.
Even for me, I think it will go there too. You just have to let it kind of go, and then you'll see. It's actually a very good way.
Let me give you another game. This one, letters of the alphabet. Okay, there's 2 games. Which one do you prefer? Well, there's 3 games, but
okay.
So one of them is called letters of the alphabet, is where I say a sentence, kind of like a story, like a conversation with you. It has to start with A, and then your response has to start with B.
Oh, okay. Let's try.
Okay, let's try it.
There are actually some of these challenges on TikTok too.
Oh yeah.
So okay, let's go.
You want to start?
Okay. Just any sentences, questions, whatever.
Yeah, anything.
Are you happy?
Before I answer that, I should tell you I'm pregnant.
Cool.
Don't say cool to me when I give you big news. A, B, C, D, E. C, D, E, F. Okay, I have to think of.
Oh my god.
I can just think of eggs. That's the only thing.
Eyes. I can only think of eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I said, don't ask me. Wait, what did I say? Don't say cool to me when I share something so big with you.
Oh, I'm going blank again. Would you go for the next one?
Okay.
I think
I'll say, oh, that's hard. A. You don't know anything. No, that doesn't count.
Go for the other letter.
F? Okay. Yeah. Fine, I'll tell you how it happened.
G, tell me. Okay.
Nice. H. Harry and I were in the parking lot.
I had no idea.
Just kidding. It was not Harry at all. Actually, it was your brother.
Kidding me?
Okay, L. Like, I did not know that I would be attracted to a Persian person ever, but he came around and I was like, that's not bad. So this is 9 months ago.
My brother? Oh, you're crazy.
L-M-N. No, I'm not crazy. See, even though he is 50 years older than me, I think we have a connection.
What was the other letter? Oh my god.
J-J-K-L.
Oh my god.
L-O-P-Q. I don't know. I said I, right?
No.
L. I said no.
N.
O.
Oh my god. I just come up with words.
A-B-C-A-J-J-K-L-N-O-P-Q. L-M-N-O-P. I'm mad. What about you? Tell me what happened with your week.
Yeah, J-J. Q, right? Okay. Questions are irrelevant here.
J-J-K-L-N-Q-R. Right now, I'm the only one sharing my life secrets.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure about that.
Sounds like you're mad at me.
Oh no, I said the S.
Oh, you're right. Oh fuck. MCDHJKLNOPQRST. Tonight, it's your turn to share a big secret.
You. What should I say with you?
Utopia.
Utopia. Uber. My Uber is here.
Uber is good.
I gotta go. Well, you asked me about you should share a secret.
That's great.
So. Uber is here. I gotta
go. Victory. I'm glad you're leaving me. Dumb. That's such a sad story. CFGHIJK. First I take your brother. Now you're leaving.
Exactly.
QRSTUV.
Wow. You're amazing. I cannot believe you. How could you do this to me?
X.
Expedition.
Expedition starts with E.
I know. Do we have anything that starts?
X-rated movies made me do it. It just pumped my blood, and I saw your brother there, and I couldn't stop myself.
What the fuck is this? Stop. Oh my God.
2 more letters.
Okay. What was it? X.
Y.
You are a you're a whore.
Oh!
Why would you do that?
Zainab.
What? That's a name.
That's not a word.
Okay.
Zeshte. No, that's not a word.
You're going Persian.
Yeah.
now.
Come on, one last word. I need one last word.
Zebra.
Zebra.
Zoo.
You can't start a sentence with zoo.
Zoom.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. Zoom me later. We can talk about this further.
Is that a verb now? Amazing.
Wow. This is another dark story.
Yeah.
I have no intentions with Anna's brother, by the way. He's like 4 years old. But the story went there.
That's even worse. No. My God. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So there's one.
You were so good at that, though. I still struggle.
You got the you got the words, as you say.
Yeah, I just would come up with words. You would come up with the whole
reaction.
Story. Yeah.
The thing is, I think I cheated because the rule is you're only supposed to say one sentence. Like sometimes I would say more than one sentence.
It's okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Even kind of such a cool story.
So there's another game. Even you can play it with yourself. You can just start to have a weird conversation with yourself.
For sure. Not even conversation. There was just this TikTok filter that you would just tap the screen and there were the letters of alphabet. Kind of like randomly though. That was even much better. So you had to just come up with words.
Oh, words. Like to make a sentence?
Yeah, like A would come and you would say apple, for example.
Oh, just words?
Yeah, just words.
Okay, that's easier, I think.
And then, just randomly words would come. The letters would come. So
I feel like these are so good for your brain. It's like an exercise, literally.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now it just shows how slow I am in this.
Well, both of us, but as I told Anna, like there was one class that I went to for improv.
Yeah.
And after that, I was writing for like 3 hours straight.
Dang.
Just improv. Well, then I don't know why you didn't go more. Of course, if it's so good, you should go do more.
You just wrote about anything, right?
Yeah. Like so many new ideas came to my head.
Wow. That's very good.
Yeah.
But it's very also good for making jokes and things like that.
That's true. And
there's
book
so many people that come up with things on the spot.
I know.
I just go home. I even told you before. I go home and I'm like, after 2 days, I'm like, oh my God, I should have said that to this person.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, what's the point now?
Yeah. You're in the shower and you're like, you come up with the best arguments and the best responses. I sometimes just...
Best responses, exactly.
Yeah. Especially with like your high school bullies or I don't know, with some people like in high school. I don't know, I still like think sometimes in the shower, you know, your mind goes somewhere.
I know.
You're like, I should have said this to this person.
That's the thing. This book I was reading on improvisation was saying now, let's say it takes you 2 days to come up with a good response. Later it will be 1 day, 5 hours, 3 hours, and then you could keep training yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are, cool. And it's also good for being witty and really, spontaneous and so good.
Let's do this one last game. Okay. You're gonna like this game, I think.
You know, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, I'm so uncomfortable when I'm doing that. Yeah, the game.
Well, this one, I think you're gonna
I don't even know how I look like.
Oh, true.
Yeah. At the top, like,
that's so
what's
fun.
The next letter?
And the thing about improvisation is it's more alive if you're standing, I think, because you can like walk around.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So maybe that's why it's hard for us.
Yeah.
Okay, this next game is called Sell It to Me. So you take any object around the room and you have 1 minute or 30 seconds to sell it to the other person, make them want to buy it.
Or like the Wolf of Wall Street when he said like, sell me this pen.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't know how this is gonna go. I haven't even tried it.
That's so exciting. Sell anything. Okay, can you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I will sell you something easy. This microphone, I think is easy. So you see the microphone, it can pick up the tiniest... Also, let me put a timer so I don't talk for too long.
Yeah. Let me...
Okay. I have exactly 1 minute to sell this to you.
Yes.
And you have to want to buy it after.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Go.
First of all, this microphone has been made with the greatest aluminum quality. And the price right now, you will never find another that's like it. It's so cheap. $500 for the whole kit, 2 microphones. It's got the lavs and the stands come with it. I will tell you right now, if you find another microphone with this quality and this price, just bring the microphone back to me and you can return it. I mean, just check out. So, for example, normal microphones, you have to be about 2 centimeters away for it to be able to hear. This microphone, move around as much as you want. You want to do an improv skit? Yeah, see, I'm allowed to lie. I'm allowed to lie in this game. So move around, move back, move forward. It picks up the sound exactly the same as a radio microphone that's in a concert hall. Plus, this brand that it has, Audio-Technica, is the most famous audio brand with the best customer service. If something goes wrong, just call them, message them 24/7. They will fix it for you.
Oh, done. Nice. Time's up.
What do you
think? Good. Very good. You should be a salesperson.
Lots of lies were told. Because this microphone, you actually have to be really close.
Yeah, exactly. And please, Audio-Tech, was it? Please sponsor us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Audio-Technica. Actually, it is really good. My microphone is also my headphone. I mean.
Oh yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Would you buy it or no? It's $500.
Yeah, but okay. The script was good. The way you were saying it was kind of like you were laughing, or like it was like unbelievable. Like you could tell.
I see.
But it was so good. No.
Okay, good for first try, but no buying.
Yes, of course. Okay. It was great. I don't think I can be like that.
Okay, so sell me something.
What should it be? Should it be a brand or something?
It could be a brand. It could be one of the...
Should I sell you this phone?
Sell me a phone, okay.
Apple?
iPhone 12. You have to sell me iPhone 12. That's already old.
I have no idea about iPhone 12. Okay. I don't know anything about it.
Because the thing is, like, iPhone, I would normally buy it, right? But this one is an older version, so you have to sell me, like, not the newest, I think.
Oh.
So it gets harder.
Okay. Let's see. Wow.
Let me get the timer cooking. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Ready? Okay, go.
Okay. So this phone is really great for you, especially since I know that you're a student and you're a photographer and videographer. I know that this would be great because this phone has 2 cameras that are really high quality and they will help you with making the greatest videos very smooth, and they're 4K as well as really high quality videos that you can take. You don't even need your camera with this one. It's even much better than the Canon cameras if you want something really portable and all the time in your pocket. So this phone also comes in really, it has a very good, lots of memories. It has 200 megabytes. Gigabytes. Oh my God. Look at that. 200 gigabytes. And it's really good for storing all your videos and all your photos here for as long as you want. And also there's iCloud, which is free for you for 6 months. You can have that. And yeah, you can have that because you're a student. And also there's so many colors that it comes in. So this is a beautiful purple color that it comes in. And
that's great. I would definitely buy it.
Okay, I don't know anything about iPhones, even though I have one. I'm like kind of like not really good at technology.
Novice.
Yeah.
But what was great about it is you targeted it to me. You said because you're a photographer, videographer, and immediately I was like, okay, I'm listening.
That's kind of like, yeah, because I know you, but if it wasn't just the pitch, I would ask you. There was this time that I was in this store that I was working, and I had to sell people these products, all these tools and all that. So I had to ask them really specific questions to kind of filter out their needs and all that. So I would see like, what's their project? First of all, I would ask, what is your project? What are you working on? And if they were like professionals, I would know immediately what tools to recommend them. If they were like DIYers, I would know like what tools to recommend them. And again, I would ask like, what are you working on? Is it wood, metal? What is it? And then you get to know the project and all that, and you would come up with things. Even though I don't know anything about tools, I could recommend the best ones to them, and they would even come to me later, like a month later, and they would say, "Oh, that was really great," or like they would look for me. Where's that girl that was here the last time helped me?
Wow.
I want to buy a new tool, for example.
But how did you learn about this distinction between the DIY tools, the professional?
I would ask the supervisors all the time questions about tools and all that. I would ask them. There wasn't a minute that I wouldn't ask this guy anything. There was this old man there, and he would love it too, you know? He was like really happy to help me. I was really curious about everything, and it was like really cool for me because it was they had a set of features. All the tools had a set of features, like phones, like the cars and things like that. So it was easy to sell them once you knew everything about them, and if you knew what questions to ask. So you kind of, if they were DIYers, you would kind of recommend them, kind of encourage them. And if they were professionals, you would kind of act more professional, kind of, to know what you were talking about, even though I didn't. Like, I would talk to these people that were, like, working as contractors for years.
What the heck?
And I would just talk to them like that, even though I haven't even picked up, like, a drill or something, even in my life. And then...
Wow.
And they would listen to me. And they would listen to me, and they would buy based on what I said. But it wasn't like I was a scam or anything. Yeah. Even I would talk to the supervisors, and they would say, yeah, you did the right thing. You recommended the right thing. So
amazing.
It's just kind of like a technical thing. Selling is kind of like... It is emotion and thing. But it's also like a AI, a robot. You have these questions you ask. Based on that, you kind of recommend.
That's true. Like, one part is knowing the product really well. Yeah. And the second part is learning about the person. Yeah. But selling is so important. We talked about this.
It's fun too, right? We have to practice this more. So cool.
We really should.
Maybe we should start with something like a little bit, what is it called? A little bit easier with less features, like a pen, as he said.
Like sell it?
Yeah. If you want to sell a pen, I think you should ask questions. That's what the actual Jordan. Yeah.
Wow.
Jordan Belfort, he said that if he wanted to, I think he said that in one of the interviews, that if you want to sell a pen, if I wanted to sell a pen, he said, I would ask questions about the person, kind of. Like, what are you going to write? For example, if you wanted to sell a pen to me, you have to ask, like, okay, what are you going to work on, for example, with this pen? What are you going to write? I'm going to write a novel with this, so I need a pen that goes really fast. It has a really narrow, what is it?
Tip?
Yeah, it has a narrow tip, and that I could go really smoothly, really fast, and that it doesn't run out easily. Because I did buy a lot of pens, and they were just trash.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, put it in trash after 2 days.
Exactly. That's
They would
such a
finish.
good lesson. Like when I was doing the microphone,
Yeah.
I didn't ask at all. I was just giving all of the features I could think of.
Yeah.
But if you ask, it makes the other person think about themselves, and not only do you give them a better product because you know what they want,
Yeah.
but also there's just such higher chance of them
Oh,
wanting
for
it.
sure. Because like people's ears and minds are just filled with these kind of like ads and things that are pushed at them that they just, when you start to tell them all these features, they kind of block out. They're like, they don't listen anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just kind of the mind shuts down immediately. And they don't even listen to you. You just say that and they nod along. That happened to me a lot there, by the way. I would just ramble on about the features and they would like, okay, I'll come later. Maybe, I'll think about it. But that's not a valid thing. They shouldn't think about it. You should be really good that they're like, oh my God, if I don't get it right now, I'll be like, I can't do anything. Yeah.
That's so smart.
I'll regret it. I have to do it just now.
So here's a great lesson is learn to be able to sell better, because that will affect all parts of your life. Being able to sell your ideas, being able to sell actually literally a product as well.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? What can help you learn is, one of them is improvisation.
Yes. Improvisation.
I think we have so many lessons in this episode, because we spent a week of like focusing on ourselves, that we learn about like what we lack or what we need to improve on, or what we have well. Okay, so here's one, is learning to sell through learning to ask better questions.
Yes.
And improvisation. Here's 3 really important life skills. Another thing I realized this week, and it's like a wide belief, I didn't come up with it, but it's that as soon as you start to panic, everything will go way worse.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Way worse, not only worse, but it could be deadly. For example, we were in the water and we were swimming, and I'm not like an amazing swimmer, but I'm not going to drown. So I know how my way around it. And I was swimming, and we were setting goals for ourselves to go touch the yellow, for example, yellow posts or whatever.
We said we're going to swim non-stop until there. But it was such a long distance, and there were waves coming, so it was so hard. It was kind of like an impossible task, at least for me. You were still better, but still for you too, I feel like. It was because it was so long.
The thing is, it was long, but at the same time, it was maybe like a football field or something. We were trying to test out if we could survive in the water, you know?
In the ocean.
In that regard, it wasn't that long. So, we were like, oh, okay, it will take 10 minutes to go back and forth. I'm sure we can keep swimming in different ways and doing it.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that, just switching my styles, going, everything is great. And then suddenly, my feet touched some of that green stuff. Like, they came up to here. Yeah. And as I was swimming, like, they kind of grabbed my feet. And
you panicked.
I panicked, and I started screaming like, oh my God, oh Lord, stuff like that. And immediately my breathing gets heavier.
Yes.
So now you can't even swim as well. Your body's cells don't have the air that they need. And I was like fucking like turned around, and no water went in my throat or anything. But I just like hated my life for those 3 seconds. And it makes you think, what if you were a little bit deeper into the water? What if it got tiny bit more stuck? As you're panicking and you're forgetting how to swim, that could be the difference between you dying and making it out of the water. And that wasn't even a scary situation. That was right beside the sand.
Yeah. And there were so many lifeguards there too. Like many.
Exactly.
Too many.
Yeah. It was like 10 lifeguards.
They were all lifeguards mostly. They were even more lifeguards than people there on the beach.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like the same thing with, for example, any kind of sport activity that's a little dangerous, for example, mountain climbing or something. If you start to get panicked about, oh, I just missed a step, and then suddenly you're going to start missing so many more steps. And the same applies to talking to someone. If you get more nervous about it, the worse you will talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy how it's backwards.
It is. Once you let go, it kind of happens. So I realized that the first time that we went to this lake, right? A month ago, I think. And then there, I always wanted to learn how to swim backwards, you know, in the back, so my face is up, and I just wanted to float on water, but I could never do that because part of it, I think, is because I've been always like really tense and kind of like I can't really let go of things that easily. So this floating requires someone to be really let go of everything. Like any desire to survive, any desire to you have to trust the water, you have to trust something there, okay? You have to believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think maybe some people know swimming from a really young age and they don't think of it like that, but if you haven't learned this kind of thing, that's how it is. You have to believe in something and you have to have trust and then let go.
And then literally just drop yourself.
Yeah. It's such a great lesson to let go, really. And that's when you actually survive. That's actually when you live. Not only survive, but I had the best freaking time ever because then I felt like flying. I felt like I was floating, like I didn't have any weight. It was like I was just in heaven, you know, and there wasn't this sun here. There were clouds mostly, so I could open my eyes and see everywhere, and you know, there's water in the ears, so you can't hear anything, and there's just you. There's the silence, and you're floating. But the minute I kind of felt like I thought about, you know, the fact that I'm like this, I'm floating right now.
You start going right down.
I go right down, or sometimes I would just panic and the water would go in my mouth and I would just try to struggle a lot. And the same thing happened this day. It was even harder for me to do it because there were waves and it was harder to trust. But the minute that I did let go, I felt really good. And I even started to learn another kind of trick in that kind of swimming. So I use my legs and my hands, froggy. Kind of like a
backwards frog.
Yeah, I didn't feel like a frog. Even though it looked like a frog, I think I felt more like a
jellyfish.
Kind of a jellyfish. Exactly. It was so cool.
That's so true because I have relatives who are much older and they never learned to swim.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them all you have to do is get air in your stomach and fall back. And they can't stay there.
Yeah, everybody says that. You know, you told me that. My brother even tells me that. But I
in
couldn't
practice,
do it. Yeah, I couldn't
do
it because it's like this trust issue. You can't let go of that. So, it's hard. Everybody says it, but you can't do it like that.
But that's another lesson for you. Learn to, first of all, not panic in situations that scare you. And number 2, learn to let go. I'm not sure what that means in real life, to be honest, still. How do you let go in our case?
For example, trying to control everything. For example, you are swimming there, right? And the fact that you're struggling like that is because, or you're drowning, is because you want to control, you want to fight the waves. You don't want to cooperate with it. You don't want to let it take control. You don't want to let go of your control. You want to have the control. You want to fight with destiny. You want to fight with whatever comes to your way, whatever you're given, you know? For example, there are cards that we're dealt with, you know? There are things that we have. And instead of like being thankful and working with these, we kind of fight it. We're complaining. We want to control them. We're like always talking about that. Or like when we're in a situation, we want to control it. For example, we say that I want this meeting to go very well. I plan everything out. And when you're there, you don't even enjoy. You don't even listen to anybody when you're talking. You want to control everything. And that's when everything goes bad. For example, imagine this is a really important conference that you have to go to. This is a really important meeting for you. You've been planning it so long. You want to take control. You don't want to trust anything, just yourself. And then you go there, and the person is talking to you, the person that you've been waiting to talk to, this important person, and you're nervous, or you can't.
You're in your head.
Or even they talk to you and you don't listen. And you forget.
Wow.
So that's kind of
that's so. It happened to me like 50 times.
Yeah, me too.
Accurate.
Exactly. It's just what happens. to humans all the time. That's like, I think the biggest struggle of life, or the biggest challenge of life, is just the letting go, the trusting, and kind of like not controlling, you know? Kind of like thinking of yourself as a part of that kind of vast ocean of life, and not thinking of yourself as an individual that has to survive against all odds, and, you know, distinguishing yourself and showing yourself and making yourself big. So it's like, when you are actually floating there, you are part of the ocean. You are a part of that. But if you're fighting and struggling, you want to distinguish yourself. You want to survive. You don't want to trust the ocean.
This is, now I have an example that's like not 100% related, but it's kind of about learning to let go instead of trying to control everything.
Right.
So we were trying to buy some burgers.
Yeah.
And also, so we had 2 interactions with people who were not like super nice. Okay.
Yes.
2 service people.
Yeah.
And my instinct is to always like really smile big and like make some kind of joke. I just want to make them like me.
Yeah.
And then like say my thank yous, whatever. But they were both mean, and I kept trying my techniques. Nothing is working. And at some point with both of them, I just decided, all right, you know what? Like, if you don't want to be nice to me, I'm not going to try this hard. Like, I'll just wait for my burger. I'll wait for this to come. And then after that, somehow they would be more smiley, and they would be more willing to interact with me.
Interesting.
That happened twice, like in the same 2 days that we were together. Was when I stopped trying to like talk to this person, they would then come towards me. And
oh, for sure. Wow.
So backwards again.
And the same goes with the guys as well, too.
Yeah, that's
in your
true.
relationship, basically.
Exactly.
Once you're trying so hard to control and, you know, make them like you and make jokes and, you know, like that, and plan everything that you want to tell them, it just goes horribly. It's so awkward. And then you say it backwards. I don't know. And it will be such a bad situation. And once you're not even thinking about it, or like you're surprised, suddenly you see them. Or you have a sudden interaction with them.
That's the best.
It actually works out very well.
Like Anna and I were on a cottage, and the cottage beside us, there was 2 guys, like the same age, kind of attractive with their boats. And the first interaction we had with them was us 2 were just riding and talking about it, and they're boating. Yeah. And that was the interaction, and we didn't really think much of it. Yeah. And it was sweet, whatever it was. Yeah. And then afterwards, me and you are trying to kind of like pursue them, find them in the ocean.
But we were making fun of it, though.
Yeah, we were making
joking
fun of it. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. It was so fun. But yeah, exactly.
We were making fun. We were also like on the back of our heads, we were like, I hope they come back. And so we're just trying to get to them, and nothing's happening. But that first interaction we had, where we weren't even like in the mindset.
Exactly.
It was sweet.
So true. Yes. These kind of like things that life throws at you, these are the best ones. Yeah. Than the ones that you artificially make yourself, you know? The situations that just happen are so much better.
That's true.
Yeah. That's how you should live life, I think.
So here's another point then. Learn to let go. I have one more lesson that I learned this week. Okay. About myself, at least. I don't know how true this is for you. I think it is actually very true for you too. I find that I'm a really big pushover. Do you know what pushover means? Yeah. Just feel like if I want to make somebody happy, I'll do what they want to like get things going. And I know you're like this too, because you find it like hard to say something that's bothering you, at least with me. And me and you should be super comfortable, but I feel like you still don't tell me. Or like you just say, okay, sure, I'll do this thing, where you don't really want to.
But I don't know. I am a pushover too, but I don't think when it comes to you, I'm like that, because we have fun. All the situations that even you suggest, or I suggest, like you suggest, and whatever I answer, it's true because I do have fun with you anytime that we're together, right? So I don't know what I find myself
like, for example, me and you were leaving the cottage. We're in our car, and the person who owns the cottage calls, and So of course, like in my head, I'm thinking this is the right thing to do, to stay, talk to her. Maybe she needs something from the house.
Right.
And she's let us use the house, like in my head, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
But then she asks, are you guys going to stay tonight? And I say, no, we're leaving, but we're still here.
Yeah.
And kind of that's the detail that I give. And so then she gives us a task to do.
Yes.
And at that point, I feel like if you're not a pushover, you would say, I'm so sorry, we are in the car, we locked the door, we are like about to head out.
Exactly.
But next time I'll do it, or something like that. But immediately my response is, okay, well, she let us use the house, so let's just stay here for another 20 minutes, go back inside, do what she said, don't even mention that we were about to leave. Like, that's one example. But it happens so much at work as well, where
mostly at work.
Yeah. It's like somebody else could do this job that is given to me much easier, for like especially related to driving, for example, for me, because my house is so far. But then you remember one day I had to go downtown this morning, where I could have just given that thing to somebody who is downtown already to take. Why did I say yes to that? So I just don't know, like, how do you deal with not being a pushover?
Don't you think, like, it kind of, now I'm thinking about it, it kind of relates to the fact of like letting go, because when you're controlling, you try to be nice, you try to like make others, you want to control how others think about you and feel about you. And then when you're trying that, it's kind of like, it kind of sabotages you as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I think, has a relation with being a pushover too.
That's true.
And I'm like that too, because there's so many situations I just can't say no. I don't know why I'm like that. Just say you can't do it.
Yeah. And the worst part is sometimes the other person doesn't even expect you to do it, or if you say no, they will be totally okay with it. But you build this thing in your head where you think, oh, I'm sure they want me to do this, and if I don't, then they'll never like me again, like they'll be so upset. But it's sometimes as easy as, I'm so sorry, like today I can't. And then they say, oh, thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'll find somebody else. I did that with so many jobs this week. They kept like saying, oh, you want to come do lighting? And I was like,
again, right?
No, yeah. And I was like, not really. Thank you.
Great job.
Well, I lied. I said I'm going on vacation. I didn't lie. I am going on vacation. I'm going today. Yeah.
Wow.
But
that's so true, because then after that, I'm kind of like, one part of it is the fact that I'm doing the job after and resenting it.
Yeah.
And the other part is just scolding myself the whole time that I'm doing it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just hell itself, you know? And it happens so many times, but it's not the same for some other people. Like, okay, for example, there are people that have lived with these really manipulative people. They've like been in these kind of environments, and they know how to handle other people's requests, or how to like ditch them.
Yeah.
Like, lots of people are like that.
But I mean, it's especially also not good to say no all the time, I feel.
Especially the ones that are always around complicated, manipulative ones, like Iranian ones. Iranian people are like that. Some of them. Mostly, especially if they're living in really small communities together, like in villages or in small towns, they're so manipulative. They know how really to handle these kind of situations. They know how to handle social situations.
Yeah.
Even more than people that live in cities, I feel like.
That's my problem, is the only way I know how to handle it is to lie. That's the only way where I could just like lie about I can't do this because of that reason.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say the real reason? Like, you don't want to do it because it's too far for you, or you don't want to do it because like you don't have time for it. Just say that instead of making up this lie about, sorry, I'm sick, my family's feeling bad. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why?
And I feel bad when I lie too, then after that.
Of course.
Just the conscience and all that.
Yeah, you need to find a better way to deal with this. I need to.
I think me too. I think there should be like some boundaries that you kind of put on, and then
exactly
you don't even feel bad when you lie sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you don't even think that it's lying, because it's your boundary, it's your personal space, and you haven't betrayed yourself. It's like, if you don't lie about this, or you don't do anything about it and let others push this boundary, you have betrayed yourself.
That's true.
And you don't want that, and you feel good even if you do. I don't know.
You know, I'm at least really glad that we are realizing these things, because all of these are lessons that we could now learn in our 20s and be a better version later.
Yeah.
The thing, at least in my life, is whenever I'm at my lowest or like I feel so stupid, is when later I get so much better than I was before.
That's so right, yeah. Like last week, I was just at the lowest ever. And questioning everything, life and all that. And then suddenly, like, when we went on the vacation, it was the best thing ever. Water just calms you down so much.
Yeah, and you were saying everyone should live by water. Everyone should learn from water.
Yeah, I think so. During these days, I don't know, I just felt so connected to something. And I wanted to spend every minute by the water. And we even woke up at 5 a.m. and we went there, and I wanted to do yoga there, even though I didn't do it very well, but still felt really good. I just wanted to put my hands in the water.
Testing, 1, 2.
All right, do your test, motherfucker.
1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
What surprises? There's so many tests. What surprised me a lot about not another test. Okay.
What?
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
What are they testing? That's fucked up.
Testing, 1, 2. Test.
Wow.
1, 2.
I got it.
Good for you. Okay. So what surprised me a lot about the 5 a.m. is that we decided to wake up 5 a.m. Yes, we both did. But then you stayed up when you hadn't had your 8 hours. You stayed up.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. You walked into the city and bought some eggs. You walked, trekked the mountainous range, went to a store, came back with plastic bags of groceries, and you made eggs and you brought it out.
No plastic bags.
No plastic bags. You just held the eggs right in your hand.
No.
You came back, made breakfast, made tea, and you woke me up. You're like, "Oh, it's raining. Come on in." So cool. What made you go through all this?
First of all, I knew that I would have starved to death if it was by you, okay? She doesn't eat anything at all. And she would have killed me there.
We ate very little, if Anna's right.
If it was your influence, I wouldn't have eaten anything. And I was dying, starving there.
Because we exercised all day, and then we didn't eat any lunch or dinner. We just ate one burger. And then I was like, Anna, are you hungry?
And I just wanted to be really aesthetic. So I took my boat and just rode there. Kind of a fisher girl. No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that, but later I realized I could have done that.
Yeah.
That would have been so beautiful and good. But yeah, I did go. There's always Google Maps, so it's easy. I went there, and I was the first person to go there, 8-1.
Yeah, that's true, because first we were going to go, but it was too early. It wasn't even open, so I decided to sleep.
Exactly.
This lady waited for it to be 8 and walked in first.
I exactly walked at 7:45 and got there by 8.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was there, and there was this fresh bread, so I felt like a French girl, French village girl, and there I bought this baguette, this really fresh sesame baguette, and then some eggs and some, what was it, butter. Yeah,
so cool.
But it was so good. I loved it. I felt really good, and I was kind of introduced to the city. I saw how it was.
And here's the difference between us two, because I woke up 5 a.m. Just hating everything, and I have my podcast in my ear, just listening to it all right, we're gonna get through this.
She listens to herself. She's so narcissistic. She sleeps
so
with
bad.
her sound.
Wow.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
God.
No, not myself. Dear God. But I just sleepy, like dead. I went for another nap. I'm like barely talking in the morning. Anna's like keep trying to make conversation, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna sleep. And then meanwhile, she's just having a whole adventure.
Yeah, I was
That's
reading
awesome.
Count of Monte Cristo, and we talked about it a lot when we were on the boat.
Everything looked like Count's castle.
It did. Have you seen the movie? We will talk about Count of Monte
Next week,
Cristo next week, but we did watch the movie together. And it was just so much like it. Okay, there were islands there, and there were like these
Exactly
I
the
don't
same
know.
islands, yeah, and
the water, everything was like that.
foggy, yeah, the boat,
Exactly.
the rowing.
And it was especially at night, so it really felt like
Yeah.
that. Oh wow, we felt like these like two sailors going for finding these treasures on these islands,
And there
Fighting.
could be treasures
Yeah.
because if you look down, it's all this green stuff. There was crates and crates in the
Yeah.
water.
I'm
Your
fighting
pen fell.
I'm fighting the English.
Fighting the English.
Yes.
With our swords
With
and
the
our guns
Yeah.
and our paddles.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the Count of Monte Cristo movie, watch it because we're gonna talk about it next week.
Do it, please. It's
Yeah.
so good.
It's so funny, like it's campy,
yeah.
know?
Exactly.
but also dramatic.
very much. Yes. It's so great.
Check it out.
Very adventurous. And that's what actually inspired us to come up with that scenario.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, very good.
I'm so glad you introduced me to this book and movie.
I'm glad you like it. I couldn't even believe that you did because
Oh, what? It's so good though.
yeah, it is very good.
And you changed my life actually. So yesterday when we were
wow.
driving, I was playing the audiobook
yeah.
of a book that you've already read. And I was listening to it on, okay, here's the truth.
Yeah.
I was listening at 1.70 and then immediately as soon as the app opened, I brought it down to like 130 so you wouldn't think I'm a terrible person.
oh my
And so it was playing at 130 and then Anna's like, what the hell is this? Moved it back to 1.
normal.
Yeah, and I moved it back to normal. And suddenly I'm like getting a whole new experience of this book.
That's why the only reason I listen to audiobooks is because I want that kind of like storyteller, that narrative, that narrator
Yeah.
to read it with emotion and with sounds and with tones going up and down and kind of like that. I want that kind of like mother experience, like a mother
That's
telling
exactly
a story.
what it was like.
Yeah. That's the only reason I want to listen to an audiobook.
Yeah. So
Other-
true.
Yeah.
It was just like and it actually, because it's so slow, it helps you think, gives you time to think about the ideas that the book is saying. And so I really felt like, wow, this one chapter literally my life is never going to be the same. It was all about this one man going through the worst
Yeah.
possible bankruptcy of his life and he tries to kill himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm so glad I read this. Thank you, Alexander Dumas. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the book is like 47 hours. So I'm like, if you listen on normal speed,
oh my god.
it will take forever.
That's right, but I think like that's the quality. You don't want to just listen to some noise. in your
Yeah,
ear.
exactly.
You want to understand it.
Because I would ask you like, okay, which part of the book is this? Because I was just going so fast before that I only got some ideas from it, not the whole essence.
Oh, I see. And the whole time I was like
Oh yeah,
Just,
you were. You really were.
sleeping and then fighting it. I
Yeah.
didn't let go. That
You're like-
was my mistake. Yeah.
You didn't let go. Yeah, I kept
Yeah.
saying, please go to. I guess you felt guilty that I was driving, but like, you should have slept.
Yeah, I did because like I don't know how you listen to podcast or to audiobooks on your
Sometimes it definitely makes you sleepy. That's true.
especially when you're on the highway.
I
You should listen
know.
to something upbeat.
Yeah, for sure. When I'm going to New York, I'll try audiobook as long as possible, but like as soon as it gets a little drifty,
Yeah.
music, rap.
Oh,
Eminem.
You're into rap now. Wow.
Oh yeah. When I'm back, I'm gonna rap for you guys. This crazy song, you know which one it is.
Yes.
I'm beginning to feel like I'm mentally that one. But I'll do the whole thing at that point.
Great. I can't wait.
I'll do it on the podcast. How about that?
Suddenly going from Beatles to rappers.
That's true.
That's a big shift.
I have range.
Oh,
I like both. We also did so much karaoke on the boat. That was great.
Oh my god,
So exciting.
When you're talking, I wanted to talk about this. When we were on the boat the first time, when we were doing the scenarios,
Yeah.
we were so in character that we were just turning around.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
We weren't even moving. We were rowing, but it didn't even move. We were just turning around.
Just like a
Testing.
fight.
1, 2, 3. Testing.
Their test is
1,
getting better
2,
at least.
3.
Nice and loud.
You make my life miserable.
You're so right, because it was just like our actions were like the fight that we were having. Because first of all, it's nighttime. We're supposed to be going back. The idea is that this makes us row faster.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're just literally going 1 second this way, 1 second turning back, looking, where are we? The exact same spot. We keep twisting.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Just like the fight.
Yeah.
So cool.
It just, when your mind is engaged somewhere else, you just don't know what is going on around. You
That's
can't do two
true.
things at the same time.
Mhm.
So the second time we were doing karaoke, and there were also
Again,
waves
yeah.
and winds too, so it was so
Yeah.
much harder. And we were shouting at the top of our lungs, but then I realized that we were so close to our neighbors.
We were, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even know.
Because like the neighbors could fully hear us if they were stepping out.
Yeah.
And we were just outside like,
shouting.
what was the Shakira song we were singing? Like, my hips don't lie and I'm starting to feel. Or like more dramatic.
Or like the Taylor Swift one where we were
Yeah, like,
in the
I'm
middle
just
of-
crazy. Stuff
No,
like
no,
that.
no. The one that we were singing. What was it? I knew you were trouble.
Oh, yeah. That,
That part, we were in the middle and just shouting.
Yeah.
It was so free.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I felt really great there.
Mhm, Same.
Just, it was like we were in the middle of nowhere and nobody could hear us, even though I'm sure they could.
They
a little
could,
bit.
yeah.
But
But it doesn't matter because we
we
couldn't
don't-
see them.
We
yeah.
don't even see them anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the good part about it.
I definitely recommend doing a karaoke with your friend in a boat as it's really windy.
Yeah, you know they say like carpool, and this one has to be like a boat pool or something.
Boat pool, yeah.
Yeah.
We had no place to put our camera though. We took like no good photos.
Maybe we should do it like a whole thing, like a podcast on a boat. Can you imagine?
Yes!
That's so cool.
That's amazing. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Wow.
Like not our floaty boat, a better boat so we can put a tripod.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Because we talked about it. We're going to do a podcast on a yacht, okay? 500th episode is going to be on a yacht.
Oh yeah.
How's that?
Oh yeah.
And now I'm calling it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be like 3
500.
years from now, yeah.
I see. Yes.
And
See
the
that.
other thing is we'll never skip an episode.
Mhm.
Even next week when I'm in New York, I'm coming back so we can record because I don't want to give you $100.
Just because of.
That's right.
Wow.
Was
The
a good rule,
commitment,
yeah.
The discipline. I'm
Mhm.
proud.
Thank
Wow.
you. Okay, another topic now.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to jump back into the
Sure.
boats, but so we talked about stories a bit, and
Yeah.
you were talking about characters, and it actually blew me away because I was just gonna talk about that too. Again, we didn't talk about this at all, but there was a screenplay I was reading by
Yeah.
a writer called Martin McDonagh, and he's a playwright. Normally,
Oh.
he's a really, really famous and good playwright, but he's also written like 6 movies and directed them.
Wow.
So he's just all over the place, amazing. And I learned about like how does he write, and he said he comes up with the characters first, and he comes up with eccentric characters that are nothing like him, and then he just lets them interact with each other
Wow.
and writes those scenes. And there's no structure. He doesn't structure it like we say we should. He just lets the scenes come together, and then after he's written everything, he finds the story in there. That's such a different approach.
And then he writes. Okay, wait. So after he does write the story, is there an instruction there? Sorry, like a structure there.
Yeah, so exactly. First, there is no structure. First is just the cool characters.
Yes.
Like
just
one character is a
interacting, everything.
psychopath. Yeah, one is a dog killer,
Mhm.
whatever. And they just talk about their beliefs. They maybe do things together.
Yeah.
And he just does that with all the ideas he has. And then afterwards, he sees, okay, is there a story here? And puts it together.
Wow.
That's kind of scary, to be honest.
Yes.
Imagine if you wrote your novel like that. It could be like 1,000,000 pages instead of...
But it would be just so much, a million times better, I think.
Mm.
You get to know the characters so much
Yeah.
more and be really authentic, because at times I think like
That's so true.
I'm the one talking and not the character.
Exactly. That's so true.
Yeah.
When you're going with a theme, and that's what I always do, is I come up with a theme. This movie is about motherhood, and then I just put a character in it. And then, exactly, it's just all the characters are talking through you.
Yes, so true. And then, okay, so I learned this lesson on what was this, John Truby's book, 22 Steps to Writing
Anatomy of a Story,
Yeah.
22 Steps, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Anatomy of a Story. That was the...
Something like that. I know exactly what it's called.
Yeah. She knows the whole thing. She's read it a lot of times, I think. I have to, I think, bring it back to you.
Whenever you're done, no rush.
After
I have
you
the
come
English
back
book.
from New York.
Okay.
All right. So in this book, one of the lessons that is like really important is the morality one. That chapter is so cool because it kind of changed my perspective about characters and how to come up with them. And it's like, first of all, you have to make this moral theme for the story. You have to determine what is the moral theme of your story.
Like, what are you even why are you trying to tell the story?
What is the moral lesson that you want to say about life? It could be something that you've learned in your life and you want to give this lesson to people, and you do it by this story that you're writing. So for example, he says that if you have a moral, when you come up with a moral theme for your story, you have to think about each character's belief or different variations of this moral theme and give each variation to each character, basically, and make that their belief. For example, maybe the moral theme is that lying is bad. It's so simple and stupid, but
that's true.
Just for the example here, lying is bad. It ruins your life. And then one character, for example, one character's belief is that, okay, lying is bad, but if it saves my family and friends, it's okay. So that's the character's belief. Already, you know so much about the character that he prioritizes family and friends. He's kind of like loyal to them. You kind of get some ideas about that.
That's true.
And then maybe one character is like, lying is okay.
Is a tool. Yeah.
Lying is a tool, yes. Or there is no consequences to lying, for example. This is one character's moral belief. And kind of like everything just centers around that. You already know what kind of character they are. And they would like betray their friends or something. They would do anything for money. They would like do anything for power.
That's true.
There's one character maybe that they think, okay, lying is really bad. Everybody that lies goes to hell. We can't lie. We can't do that. And it's like maybe they're hypocrites because at times they would. There's something maybe, I don't know. Maybe their life or their situation becomes in danger or is affected, and they have to lie about it, and they do, and they kind of step on their belief.
That's true.
So they're hypocrites. That could be. There are some people that kind of like want to act moral all the time, and these kind of people, also I read it in this book of seduction, that these are like anti-seducers, basically. People that always preach about morals. These are anti-seducers, for sure.
That's such a good way of also showing your theme, because each of these characters has different beliefs.
Yeah.
And so them interacting keeps bringing up this theme.
Yeah.
One of them is like, why the fuck are you lying? Like, what's wrong with you? And then if the other one keeps lying, it's like this theme keeps coming up only because the different versions are in the characters.
That's so true, yes. And it's just so beautiful. It becomes so much easier. There's not just a bunch of random characters that you made up based on, I don't know, just physical features.
Yeah, that's true.
You say, okay, this is a dark-featured, like dark-haired character. This is like a blonde one.
Yeah. That's
and you come up with
so basic.
Yeah, it is very shallow and basic. But this way, you get to the core of the story. You get to the core of the characters. And every time that you're writing, especially like if you're in the flow and you're there, you kind of get in character. You kind of think that you are that character. You even come up with backstories. Why does this character feel like or believes that lying is what is it? Lying is not bad.
Yeah, where
as
did that
long
come
as-
from? Yeah.
Exactly. Like there's no consequences to lying. Where did that come from? Maybe someone in the family, like, or some other people that betrayed them lied a lot and nothing happened to them and they're still powerful and wealthy and all that, and they became miserable, but they realized that lesson or learned from them, and then they've lied several times and nothing happened, and something like that maybe.
Exactly. So what do you think is the moral theme of your story that you're writing?
The moral theme of my story, I think, is that vengeance could destroy your life. As I do have it here.
Very similar to Monty.
Yes, it is. That's why, like, vengeance doesn't give you, religious and moral appearance isn't, the religious and moral appearances isn't a kind of like reflection of one's character.
Oh, okay, I see.
So the appearance of someone isn't the reflection of their character. Kind of something like that. And there's so many of them actually.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's like one other one. I wrote them in Persian. So vengeance will not give you satisfaction and you have to forgive.
Oh, that's kind of my theme too. Although I'm finding it, but forgiveness, remember?
Yeah, exactly. And some people have a dark side to them. Like all people have dark sides to them, and only with being aware of it and accepting it, you can live a better life. So yeah, there are so many, I think, things, moral themes that I have, but they're kind of related. So one of them was the fact that vengeance does not give you satisfaction and you have to forgive to lead a good life. The second one was that moral and religious appearances do not determine one's character. And the third was that all humans have a dark side to them, and only by accepting the fact and being aware of it, you can lead a better life, basically.
And even though these three are all related, I wonder how many themes a book should have. For a movie, I know it's one exactly, but then novels are so much more vast.
You know, so I kind of think of it as the character development. So there are parts of the character, there are parts of the story that the character hasn't changed yet, and they have different beliefs, and at parts their beliefs change. And I think the moral of the story also changes, kind of.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't mind breaking the rules sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we can do that. So these three themes are similar, but they're each for different parts of the novel and story. So, for example, the part about vengeance is obviously not in the first part of my story.
That's true.
It's in the second half of it. It's down there that he realizes that. But I think the thing that I'm trying to say in the whole story is the fact that everyone has a dark side and you have to be aware of it and accept it. Because this is something that I also learned and I came to terms with. And I think I have to keep reminding myself that everyone has a dark side, even me, and I have to like face it instead of running away from it. And even in others, I have to accept the fact that other people are also, they also have dark sides.
Yeah.
And we're humans, all of us, and we just have to accept that and be aware of ourselves, kind of.
Yeah, that was actually your theme that you were interested in before even coming up with this novel. I remember your previous story had the same theme.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because it's been something that's been on my mind for a long time, and I also struggle with it. So for a long time, you're naive and can't accept the fact that other people are also
That's true.
dark. And then suddenly you realize, oh my God, I'm also very dark, and I have this shadow part, and that I'm so scared. Sometimes things come to my mind that I'm like, where did it come from?
Yeah.
I hope nobody hears these things. And, and you kind of like scold yourself for that. but you have to just accept this. This is part of you, and even that part is beautiful because it shows that you're human. You're not an angel or anything.
That's true. They kept saying that in the Monte Cristo movie. I'm a priest. I'm not a saint. I'm a count. I'm not a saint. That's cool.
Exactly. So for the first part, there could be like some themes, and then for the second part, the second theme.
I will say one thing about and we're obviously going to talk about this next week, but one thing about Monte Cristo is that it made me think from the very beginning, even though the story keeps changing, it's always about how your fortune may change. And also, as long as you stay true to who you are, instead of wanting to destroy others, your fortune will eventually be in a good place. You know, because it started with, okay, this guy's doing great, and now he's doing terrible. Miss Morel is doing great, now he's awful, doing terribly. Danglars gets really high because of the things he does, but then later, karma gets him.
Exactly, yes.
It's showing like this turn of fortune and people who are kind or not.
So true, yes. That's so
interesting.
Exactly what it is,
Okay, but next week we're going to talk about so many cool books. So check out Alexandre Dumas. Hope I said his name right. I think Anna's favorite author. Is that fair to say?
Kind of, yes. He is.
So check it out. He's apparently a very adventurous guy, very suspicious maybe. Does suspicious activities, would you say?
Oh, yeah, kind of.
But super cool writing. I the very small amount that I've listened to in audiobooks has been like life-changing. So definitely check out his books.
So cool. Yes, please do.
Next episode is going to be so exciting because not only are we talking about this amazing author, I'm also going to New York today. So lots of stories from there,
I'm sure. The Big Apple.
The Big Apple. We'll see how it goes. Exciting.
Very nice. And we're going to talk about Three Musketeers as well.
Oh, yeah.
Count and the Three Musketeers.
Do you know the names of the Three Musketeers?
No.
I just learned. I think it's Athos, Porthos, Aramis.
Wow.
I don't know who D'Artagnan is. Like, I know who he is because I've listened to 20 hours, but like he's not one of the Musketeers, but he's like the main character.
I have to read this book in a week now.
You got this. We'll see.
Okay, very well.
Thank you for listening. This was a fun episode.
It was
I enjoyed it.
Fun, yes.
So
make sure
try the improvisation exercises, and also let us know, like, is there anything you learned in your 20s or however age you are that you want to teach us? Because I need to learn. I need to be a better person.
Testing.
Great job. Good for you.
Testing. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. Testing.